My name is Jesse, and welcome to another round of our Mambo Merge Office Hour series. In this edition, Cynthia is going to be walking us through some of the basic functionality, simple troubleshooting, as well as some of the new features that have just been released. So thank you for joining, and thank you, Cynthia, for doing this. Share with us what you have in store for us today.
Awesome. Thank you, Jesse. So today I'm going to be looking at one of our newer features that's in Mambo Merge. It's similar to our batch and bulk. It's going to allow us to select several records. Um, Let me go ahead and share my screen as we start to discuss this. So as I was saying, it's similar to batch and bulk. We get to select several records, and we're going to apply those records to a page. So it'll be multiple records on a single page. Um, just to remind you guys, when we're doing a batch, we can select several records and each record will get its own page. And then if we're doing like a bulk, we can get several records and each page in a single document is associated to those records. So this is a little different. It'll be a little bit more clear when we get to the template building. But in this scenario, I have a situation where I have a meetup that I'm creating, and several of my contacts have confirmed that they're going to attend the meetup. I went ahead and created a list view of my meetup with who has confirmed they're attending. Now I need to make name tags for everybody. Um, I could go write everybody's names tag out myself, but maybe I don't want to spend all that time. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this new feature to make a template that's going to go ahead and put everybody's names on the labels that are their name tags. So let's go in and go to our contact object. I already have Mambo Merge on this page because I've been using it to do a thank you letter. You can see it here. Um, This is a configuration that's using this. This is why I have that thank you letter there. If this was just a template that's attached to this component, it would just say merge. We're going to go ahead and go to setup, and we're going to create a new configuration to use that new feature. Now, we're on the contact, and we are wanting this to be a contact for a primary Salesforce object. If we were somewhere else, we could also go here and just start typing in contact, and that'll get us right there. But because we were on the page, Mambo Merge makes the assumption that's where we want to be, which is good for us. We're going to select records where, and then I am going to add a filter, and my filter is going to be on the field that I'm using to confirm that people are going to the meetup, and it's just titled for me meetup confirmation. And I'm going to have it still operator equal. And then I'm going to checkbox it so that it's true because they are confirming that they're coming. And order by full name and ascending, that is quite fine for me, works out. We'll go to the next page. Do I need any other details? No, I'm just grabbing a name and the title, which is on the contact record. If I needed any other details, this is where I would add it. And then going to the merge data, here's where we can get my merge fields so I can start making my template. Now, I've already made my template. It's already in Salesforce for me. Here it is. This is what it looks like. One key note to notice about Salesforce Preview, when you're looking at your document in Salesforce, it doesn't always look the way the record is. So let's look at my record where it is in the Word. And you can see it doesn't recognize that I use that fun little font that looks like I wrote the names out because I'm kind of cheating there, making it look like I did the hard work while Mambo Marriage did it for me. But we're just using record one name, record one title. Now, if we go back to our page with the template builder from the merge data page, where am I getting all of this merge, the record one name? What's happening? What is this? So let's look for name first. Here it is, name. This is what I'm doing. So what this template is doing is I'm telling it on each page, only a certain amount of records will appear here. And in this one, I've set it to 10. So I'm saying when you've made a record, when you go through all the list of the records I've selected, make sure 10 of them fit on this page before you try to make this page again. So if I select 20 records, it's going to give me 2 pages. The record one is not corresponding to which item is in the list. It's going by the order on the page. It can be confusing because we do have the related list, and that does use numbers where it's a name, a number, and then another name. Not to confuse you guys on that. Those are definitely looking a little bit more different, and I'll show you guys after the merge, when it's done, how that can be different from each other. But right now, I've chose name, so I've added record 1 name, and you can see it goes down all the way to 10, record 10 dot name. And then I've looked for my title. There it is, and we'll see that that'll pop out with some data there too. So the same record 10 dot title. So I've done that. Now I can go next page. And had I not had my template already in Salesforce, I would select upload a template. But since I've already done this, I'm going to go ahead and add blank template. Now here it is. We got all these options. You remember I mentioned that there's one where we select several records, 1 document per record. Another one where we select several records, 1 record per page. And then this is the one that we're using right now to make our labels, the single document, multiple records per page. So I've selected that. I'm going to go here and I'm going to say name tag merge, just so that I know straight away what I'm doing. And destination, I can choose to save it to a library or download immediately. I'm going to go ahead and save it to the library. I'm going to select output folder, select, and then I'm going to go here to search, and I'll go to my libraries, my Mambo Merge template library here, and oh, went to the wrong library. Here it is. Name tag template. I can always preview just to make sure. Yep, this is the one that I want. Select it. And if I didn't preview it there, I can always preview it here again. Yeah, I selected the right one. And then generate name file. Right now, it wants to name the file that it produces to the same file name as my template. That's fine. Salesforce will not be confused, but I definitely will be confused. So I'm going to go ahead and rename this to name tag. And I'm going to put today's date. So I put today, parentheses, inside of my merge tags. That's going to let me have today's date generate, or the day of the merge, in whichever day that I actually merge, to always be at the end of my file name. And then we're done with this page. We'll go ahead and hit next. And if you remember, actually, we'll go back in a second. I selected the option to save to a library. I did that for a reason. If I select download, I don't get the option of send an email. So if I go back, I change this quickly to download immediately. It tells me that delete all send email actions. And I'm like, oh no, I want to send this to me in case I'm at a location that is not my office and I don't want to log into Salesforce again to download the file. I have the file in an email and I can print it out wherever I need it at that time. So we'll go ahead and send that to myself. And I don't have any special email template yet, so we'll just use a random one. And then we'll go ahead and hit next. And my configuration ID, this is how we tell the component what the details they're going to be using for our Mambo Merge. That way we can have more than one Mambo Merge on a page. We can tell if it's going to do a single record, the multi-record, if it's for another item all entirely. So this name is very important. I'm going to go ahead and name this as, we'll name it label maker. No, name tag. Keep it simple. And we'll go ahead and copy. Just a reminder, we could change this from a button to something else. I could do a drop down. Seems a little silly because I only have one. You could do it to the radio. Again, seems overkill. Thumbnail might be good because now I know exactly what I'm printing. So I'll go ahead and select that thumbnail for me. I'll also put that this is a name tag maker. Just so that later on when I'm looking at all my configurations, I just don't accidentally delete this thinking it's not important or not remembering what it is. I get a little preview to knowing what's happening there. So name tag exists. How do I get it onto the page? This one doesn't have it. It still has only that thank you letter. Well, it's the same way we always get Mambo Merge on the page. We go up to our gear icon in the top right. I go down to the drop down here to edit page. That takes me to the Lightning App Builder. I could select the Mambo Merge that is here in the preview in the middle and change my template ID to my name tag 1, but I don't want to lose that guy. So I'm going to go scroll down, grab Mambo Merge again to add it to the page. Now I have 2 Mambo Merges. Selecting him, and I'm going to go ahead and add in name tag, copied and paste it, but you can always just type it out. And then if I click elsewhere, it does kind of start to register. There we are with that preview. Hit save. We'll go back. Look at that. That's beautiful right there with that preview. You know exactly what I'm about to merge. And here it is. It's saving to that file, but I can also click here and it'll let me download it immediately so we can take a preview of it. And there we are. Look at that. Andy Young, SVP Operations, CEO here for author. And you can see it starts to duplicate. We have one that's empty here because there was less than 20. So it'll fill in until it gets to the end. I don't have to worry. There wasn't just going to be the 10 and then I'd have to go back and do 10 again. No, it's going to keep going. If I had selected more than the 19, it would have kept going on and on until it was done, making sure that I have at least one page with the last person on it. So there is how that works. To bring up the difference between how this is different from a related list option, I'm going to show you guys one of our documents that uses that. And here is a document that is pulling a related list and doing a iteration of each of those. And you see, it kind of at first looks similar, but it's totally different because this one is just the record 3 dot name, and with the related list, that's happening with the name of the related list, the actual iteration of the item itself inside that related list array, and then it's the merge field. So this is not working the same as that. This one is going by whatever is put there, it was put there. And this is actually much different, but I didn't want you guys to think it was the same thing. But that is how we use it. If I'm going to turn it back to you, Jesse, if anybody has questions for us.
Sure, no problem. Thank you for that, Cynthia, walking us through that label tag maker there. There was on that form that I went ahead and sent out earlier, there was a question that was submitted regarding this configuration setup. It looks like when you started the configuration, there's an option for importing and exporting configurations. I'm assuming that it would be a straightforward transition to take this configuration that you put together and move it to a different org. When doing such tasks, is there any things that need to be kind of checked off or consider uh, to make sure that the configuration works from this org to a different one?
Yes. So when you're exporting your configurations, um, it's real simple. You could select all of them and you could export them here. And then you would also be importing from this option. Or you could do it for a single one and it would be exporting here. The only thing is when you're importing your document in, Mambo Merge will remember all of these details as long as they're in your org. So your contact is in the new org. The fields that are being referenced are in the new org. What won't be in the new org is the template ID that is attached to this template. So you'll have to go in, make sure that the template that you want to use is in your org, and you'll be selecting this. So after you've imported this configuration into your org, you'll actually come into this and this will actually appear this way. And your library might also appear this way because you might not have the same library. So you'll have two empty spots that you have to fill in. Make sure you select and then find your template. If you don't have a template selected, or if you didn't go in and you tried to use Mambo Merge right away with the new configuration, it'll give you an error saying the template wasn't found. And straight away, you'll know what to do. Go in, check the configuration, and make sure you've selected the template that is in the org. But other than that, most of the other items will be listed and in there. In this case, I did have to go in, I would have to type in my email again. But yeah, it's pretty easy to get those configurations and export and import them. It makes it a whole lot easier than having to remember, because it'll also remember the relationships.
Awesome. Thank you for that. There was one more question here in the chat that just came up regarding with this type of configuration you build, is there a limitation or can you use it from example, from a report of some sort of a generated report, and that report included the names of those individuals? Would you be able to generate those tags similarly, or any type of label that you might need?
Yes. So I actually have a report because I was trying to think, how do I decide on how to pull up the list of my meetups? So I did a meetup list this way where I could do this, but I also created a report. Let me find that for you guys so you can see what the report has. When doing a Mambo Merge from a report, you want to make sure that all the items you need are in there. So in this report, I got the names, titles, account name that's attached to these people, their mailing city, state, and country, phone number. So everything I would need if I was going to have my meetup and check in with these people, that they are who they are. So if I wanted to, I could use this for the same one that I did, because I'm using the name and the title. Let's give that actually a quick go. We'll go back to contact. And we'll actually go ahead and select clone. This completely made a duplicate of my configuration. And then if I go in here, now I can change some of the details, and the other details will be the same. So if I select from report, I can go ahead, meetup confirmation list. Next, showing these items here. So my post-merge actions won't work because I don't have any IDs selected. That's fine. I'm just making the template here. I'm going to go ahead and put this as download immediately, and I won't do the send email. And we'll continue forward. delete that. And then we'll name this name tag report. And we'll show configuration IDs at the bottom so that we know that it's changed when we do change it on the page. Save it. And we'll go back to edit page real quick. There we go. Name tag report is down at the bottom of that, so we know that we did the right one there. Again, checking it. Yes, name tag report is here. We can merge it. And then, yeah, we don't have a name. Why did that happen? So we were actually pulling not the right fields from the report, if you remember the report. Let's look back at that report, just so you guys realize. I'm pulling first name, last name, not the name fully together. So I would have to change my template at that time to match the report. So yeah, it's possible to still use this feature on your report, but you have to remember reports are only pulling the data from itself. So that's where we have to go in and change it. So all I would have to do at this point is change my template to go to the first name and the last name and combining them instead of just record one name.
Okay, wonderful. Any more questions? All right. Well, we do thank everyone for joining. And if you do think of questions 10 minutes after this call, feel free to use that form link that was provided or email us to add you to the list. Our next webinar is scheduled for Thursday, July 13th. So go ahead and email us or follow us on social to add you to the list. We thank you, Cynthia, for running us through this and answering questions. We thank you folks for asking questions and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.